here's the XFL. They're going to start in January 2020. It's going to feature 8 teams, play a 10-game schedule. And I'm going to tell you why I think it could work this time. Because here's what Vince McMahon's going to do. Mm-hmm. Whether you like wrestling or not, he somehow has been able to tap into the zeitgeist of this country. And everything that has alienated some people about the NFL will be taken out and not put in the XFL. It will be dramatically taken out. I haven't read yet exactly what Vince said, but I guarantee you every one of those players is going to stand during the national anthem, and they're going to salute the flag as the flag is on the field. Every single one of them. For the people that left the NFL because they felt that what Kaepernick did and then other NFL players was disrespectful to the flag. He's going to tap into that. So let's look at what Vince said.
Okay.
One mark of the league, McMahon said, will be faster games. The ideal running time, he said, would be 2 hours. Smart. He's smart. NFL games now take 4 hours.
Well,
3.5 hours,
yeah,
45.
He won't get to 2, I don't think, if you have a full football game, but you get to 2:30.
Unless he's going to play 12-minute quarters. I don't know how you can do a 2-hour game with 15-minute quarters.
Here it is. People don't want social and political issues coming into play when they're trying to be entertained. We want someone who wants to take a knee to do their version of that on their personal time. We are evaluating a player based on many things, including the quality of human being they are. If you have any sort of criminal record or commit a crime, you are not playing in this league. To me, the landscape has changed in so many ways when he was asked about TV. Just look at technology and companies like Facebook and Amazon bidding for sports rights. Even if ratings go down, there's no denying that live sports rights continue to be valuable and continue to deliver. I don't think people want to see the same thing when they're streaming as they see on television. That's boring. I think fans want it shot in a totally different way, and I think there's an immersive opportunity that's more interactive to the game. It's not clear whether star players, should they garner national attention, will be able to jump to the NFL. One thing we are not is a developmental league for the NFL. He also pointed out that there will be no crossover talent between the WWE and the NFL. McMahon said he is the sole funding source for the league, which is slated to begin in January 2020. Its first season will have 8 teams around the country playing a 10-week schedule. The initial outlay of money is expected to be around $100 million, which, by the way, I've heard he has in the ashtray of his car.
Well, no, he removed $100 million
from WWE.
From WWE and liquidated.
Removed it. He sold stock.
Sold stock to get $100 million.
It was about, what was that, 3-4 shares? The initial outlay of money expected to be around $100 million, the same amount of WWE stock McMahon sold last month and funneled into Alpha Entertainment, the company he founded for the project. I wanted to do this since the day we stopped the other one. McMahon told us, ESPN, in an exclusive interview, a chance to do it with no partners, strictly funded by me, which would allow me to look in the mirror and say, you were the one who screwed this up, or you made this thing a success. I think it works. And as Don said so well before, let's say if it gets a 2.3 and doesn't get what the NFL gets, okay. Hockey gets 2.3, and NBC jumps over itself to keep it.
Well, let's remember, at this point, WWE keeps the lights on at USA for getting like 3 million people a week, 4 million people a week. It keeps USA basically completely in business. I mean, now they have Mr. Robot and some other shows, but USA is seen as a desirable cable network simply because of 3-4 million people twice a week. So if you can do that, if you can generate that kind of number, why not do it? You're right, Don. You don't have to be trying to get 12 million people a game.
Well, the problem last time was they shot too high. They were playing in NFL-sized stadiums. They were playing on NBC, Saturday night prime time, where it's tough to carry a 2.5 number. But if you're on USA and you play the games in arenas that maybe hold 30,000 instead of 70,000, then you could turn a profit. I'd rather watch a game where the building is full than like MetLife, where they only sell tickets to the lower bowl because they can't sell upstairs. And then you can kind of grow. Now, the one thing that's different between this league and the one that he launched back in the day, which is, I guess, going on 20 years now,
yeah,
is the violence aspect of it. If you remember, You had to return a kick out of the end zone. You had that face-off to begin the game where they put the ball on the 50-yard line and the two guys would dive for the football, and whoever recovered it got the opening kickoff. And then, like on the first game, the guy separated his shoulder.
Yeah,
you can't have that. Because
no.
You know, you can't just like, oh, you're allowed to hit defenseless receivers. Remember, they had like a real violence to it because they figured the NFL was starting to curtail that. Can't do that now. It's just not politically correct, and it's not right to do. So that's an aspect that's going to be different now, because if you're going to play safely, then that's going to discourage people, because that's part of why people don't like the NFL as much anymore, because they're so worried about headshots. Are they going to be able to have headshots in this league? I don't think so.
In fact, one of the things he said, though, was that being at the forefront of safety technology is one of the things. What he's trying to do is, as far as I can tell, is tap into everything the NFL has dropped the ball on.
Right.
So that is not only the political issues and things of that, but that is safety, too. He knows the head injuries are a thing. So let's figure out the best way to curtail it.
Here's why he's smart for many reasons. McMahon said being the only owner of all of the teams will allow him to do whatever he wants. I can say, here are the rules, and as long as you are playing football in the stadium for us, you follow these rules. He said he would preclude any player with a criminal record, which you mentioned before.
Oh, by the way, that's another one. Remember, not just the political issue,
right,
but people were upset about all these guys who hit women.
He said Johnny Manziel would not play in his league.
He already said that.
Yeah, he said.
And Johnny Manziel tweeted, I think, wanting to play in the league already.
Well, I mean, he's got a criminal record.
It's all great in theory, but let's remember, it's easy for him to do this because there are not going to be any stars in this league, right? There's not going to be that many. I don't think there'll be really any recognizable players, most likely. So,
although I
think
do
that. Now, what happened?
Wouldn't it be funny if the star player is Colin Kaepernick?
Well, that would be the. What happened? What do you do if you're him? And Colin Kaepernick says, "I'd love to play in this league. I don't need to bring my political beliefs. I'd love to play football."
Well, then I think you should allow him in.
But then, don't you all of a sudden now think about it? All the people that you just wanted to win over are running the opposite direction.
No, but what happens if a star does emerge from the league and he gets a DUI?
Well, are
you going to throw him out of the league?
Yeah,
then?
He said they're out of the league. DWI
well, I mean,
is not
it's
accepted.
easy to say that, but if there's a player and there's a team and there's a connection, you know, again, it's easy when these are nameless, faceless players. People are just going to be watching this because they just love football. And in the first year, it'll probably go over swimmingly. But in the second or third year, as the league begins to grow and the stars begin to emerge,
you get to have different.
What do you
hard
do?
to have the same rules.
Here is McMahon talking about Manziel and Kaepernick.
Well, I think this, that one of the things when I said the quality of human being is very important and just as important as the quality of the player, what I mean by that is you want someone who does not have any criminality whatsoever associated with them. And in the XFL, even if you have a DUI, you will not play in the XFL. So that would probably eliminate some of them, not all of them. If Tim Tebow wants to play, he could very well play.
Would Colin Kaepernick be welcome in the league?
Again, I think anyone who plays the game of football well and meets our criteria in terms of the quality of the human being as well as the player, why not? As long as everyone abides by the rules as laid down.
And just to follow up on those rules, you're saying it would be mandatory for players to stand during playing of the national anthem?
Well, again, in terms, there are going to be a lot of rules and regulations, and all of which are going to be out there for everyone. You're going to know them before you sign on to XFL, so I would imagine that anyone who signs on is going to abide by those rules.